And apparently Antonio didn't get called on the carpet about that one because they had to go play New England. They didn't play very well. They lost 36-17. And then
wasn't that close.
And it wasn't that close because it was 36-9 until 3 minutes were left in the game. But then in the offseason, you and I are going back. In fact, I think you drew a line in your sand over there and said, I don't think they should pay him long term, right?
Because you reinforce this type of behavior.
You do.
You know, Skip, for me.
And by the way, he got 4 years, $68 million. He makes $17 million a year, and I think that was like all bets are off. He can pretty much do whatever he wants to do.
You know what, Skip? I think Ben, when they asked Ben about it, I think Ben, okay, he threw a cooler and he blew it. But I don't think Ben had saw the video.
Maybe not.
Once he saw the video, he realized, hold on, I've got to address
because
this.
He's calling you out by throwing the water cooler, right?
Yes. Skip, I knock on wood. I played 14 years and I was very fortunate. But playing with guys like this, we would have had a problem. We would have had a serious problem.
Yeah, and you would have handled it internally in the locker room. It would have been a players only, especially when you're in Baltimore. That would have gotten handled in a second.
Yes, and that was the thing. And I think guys had respect for John, but I made sure guys gave him the ultimate respect because I had the tenure. And if I wasn't going to act like this on the sideline, you sure weren't going to act like this on the sideline. And like I said, it would have been a problem. And we don't want any problems because the only thing we're there for is to try and get better and to win ball games. And if John or Mike Shanahan is going to have to, the head coach is going to have to address something that you've done on the sidelines, but see, that Mike got to get, professionals don't act like this. Not where I'm from. I mean, not in the business that I played. Now, they might act like that somewhere, but that's not the way you conduct yourself. Not on the sidelines. Not so the younger guys. You don't think Martavis Bryant wants the ball? What receiver you know, Skip, said, you know what, they throw me too many balls. They give me too many targets. Nobody says that. Everybody wants the ball. But at some point in time, me trying to force feed you the ball or me missing you on a throw and you acting like this, it serves nobody because guess what? We're having to address it. They asked Mike Tomlin about it. Ben had to address it because they asked him about it. It should have been, Ben, y'all got a big win. Yes, you got a big win after the game. That was a big win against your arch rival against the Ravens.
It was.
But we got to address Antonio's childish behavior.
Okay, here's the difference. In your day, Shannon Sharpe did not have a brand. He didn't have a Twitter account or a Facebook account or an Instagram account.
Nope.
You had none of the above. You were not constantly thinking about how do I promote myself?
Right.
How do I make myself more marketable in the offseason? You didn't think about that for 1 second.
No.
I don't think.
No.
I could be wrong.
The only brand I was concerned about, Skip, was the brand of football I was playing.
Yeah.
How can I help the Ravens? How can I help the Broncos win more games? If it didn't involve that, as far as training, eating, and what I needed to do to get better on the field, I give a damn about selling sneakers and soft drinks. Yeah. I'm trying to win football games.
So the biggest stars in the National Football League are mostly the quarterbacks.
Yes.
And they all sort of grow up with a decorum. You know, you do this, but you can't do that.
Right.
So they don't really self-promote within the confines of because they're the lead, they're the face of the franchise.
Correct.
But we have the new breed of the wide receiver who are like NBA-style superstars.
Correct.
And as I've told you before, their deepest frustration is they can't even in the NBA you can say, pass me the basketball, and you're probably going to get X touches a game.
Right.
But in this game, you don't know how many touches you're going to get. It's up to the quarterback, right?
You play a dependent position, and a team, if they want to take you out,
they
can double you. They can do things to make sure you don't have the impact that you or think you could have.
It makes the Odells and the Antonios a little psycho because it's just because they can't control their fate on the field, and they want to control it off the field.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, they're going to act out. That was a self-inflicted explosion, and it was all about his brand. He knew he was gone for a touchdown.
Yes.
He knew he was gone for a big highlight.
He was already had the celebration lined up and everything.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, though, Skip, is that when you take these guys, and I get it, when you play a dependent position, and you feel your value is tied to catches, yards, and touchdowns, even when you win, when you only have 2 or 3 catches, you're like, I didn't fulfill my obligation. And it takes you don't think Larry Fitzgerald wants to catch balls? Of course he does. Julio, he wants to catch them. But they understand that if we win, I can never say I could have done this, because it comes off as being selfish.
Mm-hmm.
It comes off as I'm more important. I say I like winning, but I really like winning if I'm the man. If I get 10 catches for $1 and 2 tubs, that's what I like.
Larry Fitzgerald is the only one who has shattered the new mold. He's older school.
Yes.
But he has created a brand just with his brand of football and the way he lives his life. Period. End of story. No self-promotion.
You think of a great football player, but the first thing that comes out of your mouth after you say Larry Fitzgerald is a hell of a football player, you hear professional.
He's the ultimate.
That's it.
On and off the field.
Yes.
The feeling I got from this is that Ben is realizing that his time in the NFL is slowly ticking away. You know, he talks about this might be his last year, and he wants to keep it on the rails and doesn't want a situation like the AFC Championship
Ben needs to stop talking like that, because he playing like he's semi-retired right now.
Well, he did talk about retiring. So
Yeah.
once it escapes your lips, you know. Next up, the NBA made major changes.